serenity inside. And the world feels loud and wild. Seek the gentle breath of grace in the eyes of every child. See divinity's embrace. Quiet stillness holds the key to a mind that's truly free. In the tranquil we confide, finding God, a peace inside. Mountain tops and waters deep echo with a sacred hymn. In His care, our spirits sleep, cleared from every worldly spring. As the stars paint dusky skies, see His love in every beam. In the night where calmness lies, dreams of heaven softly gleam. Moments pause and hearts align, feel the warmth of His design. In the stillness we shall find, God imparts a peace of mind. Finding God, a peace inside.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are back again with another stream. I hope you guys are doing well this evening. I love that intro song. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you guys have heard of Evanescence or Nightwish. Those were a couple of influences when I made that song. Like a heavenly female voice with like dramatic music, which juxtaposes like the operatic. I love it. I love it. I love that song. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Hope you guys are having a great evening. I am the dust at the feet of God's servants. Only God is special. Welcome back, everybody. How is everyone tonight? Got Didi in the chat. Welcome back, Didi. Says, how are you, Didi? I am very good, thanks. And how are you, Didi? Yeah, very calming and soothing. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's a very chill, like... But then even with that guitar, it's like epic. Sorry, I shouldn't be bigging myself up about that, but it's not me who actually made the song. It was AI. I did some of the work, but AI did all the legwork, really. So I'm bigging up AI, essentially. Done beautifully. Perfection. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys enjoy the music too. But anyways, let's get on with the stream. Hope you guys are having a lovely evening wherever you are. Sorry, I forgot to do this last time. Here we go, banners. There we go. Just put that rolling banner at the bottom. That's just the usual. Subscribe, like, only like if you like the video. But actually, start liking the video if you actually do like it. Because according to the stats, okay, only one person liked my last stream. So that confuses me because there's quite a few people in the stream. So you didn't dislike it, you didn't like it. What's going on? What's going on? You damn ninja watchers. But anyway, it just doesn't make sense. You guys don't make sense sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, D, come back, stream, and it's like, yeah, but we're not going to give you any support. You know, we're not going to like your videos. You know, like I said, not for I don't do it for likes. It's just the feedback doesn't match the support. It's like, cool guys, I'll keep bringing out content. I'm not going to stop. It'll be done at my rate and it'll be done to my quality. But I need to know you guys are enjoying it. And just saying, "Oh, D, come back," is great, but it's like I need some interaction. I need to see that there is a demand for that type of video, and then I'll make more of that type of video. You know what I mean? If I don't see a demand for it, if people aren't like really like too keen on it, then I'm like, all right, cool. I'll try something else. I've got a million different ideas I could think of that I could do. So I'll just try lots of different things and have some fun. But if you guys like something and you want more of it, then you need to show me that you like it and you want more of that. Anyways, that's lecture over. I wasn't expecting that lecture, but it came out. So it is what it is. Dee Dee's like, come on in, trolls. Yeah, exactly. Come on in, trolls. Stats lie. Lot like it. I'm sure, D. Maybe. But like, I get the stats lie and the stats don't always show everything. But like, if I have 3 people in the chat in last stream talking consistently and I only get 1 like, and I know these 3 people are active, it's like I don't need stats to show me that, okay, maybe 3 people should have liked my video. You know? Like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It's just so that you understand that when I do look at the stats, I look and see what people respond to, not in a negative way, but in a way of like, okay, they like this. They'd like to see, because I like to spread positivity. Okay, I don't want to. I know if I make a video on the Muslims, it'll get a lot of views. It'll get the Muslims' attention because they'll be like, oh, how dare he say this? It'll get the Christians' attention because they'll be like, oh, look, new ammo. And then there'll be the atheists who'll be like, look, more ammo for against the Muslims as well. So I know certain things are easier to get likes on and easier to get eyes onto, but I'm not trying to go down that route. I'm doing my thing. So if there's anything of my things that you like, my angle, my perspective, my vision, then yeah, like. If you don't like it, please. Nobody's forcing you to watch any of my stuff. It's just, like I said, it just confuses me when you're like, oh, D, come back, D, come back. And then I'm like, oh, cool, I'm back. Yeah, nobody about except Dee, just me and Dee again. Not that I'm complaining again. Like I said, it's not a complaint. It's just an observation. I'm not sitting here going, oh God, why didn't they give me a like? Why didn't they like my content? I'm just like, cool, I'll try something else. I'm having fun. I'm doing my thing. But it's more for you guys to have the feedback into the content. Didi's like, no stopping Didi now, on a roll. Hear what you're saying, not what you are not saying. If you like, show it, do it. Hit the button, comment, and share. Exactly. If you like it, then show you like it. You know, it's not that complicated. Actions speak louder than words. And what am I not? You keep saying, hear what you're saying, not what you're not saying. And I think that's the 3rd day in a row you said that. And I'm like, okay, what am I not saying? And I'm just trying to think. I don't think there's anything I'm not saying. What am I not saying? What am I not saying? I'm not saying that I could. Oh, I know what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that I'm thinking about going back to work full time and doing this part time kind of thing on the odd occasion. as a once a month stream or something, just so I could focus on finances, so I could reinvest in myself and do what I need to in regards to life. But I want to keep doing this channel stuff because, like, I personally think that, I don't know, since I've started doing this stuff, I have seen a lot more content from a lot more different people, which is good. I like it. Like, I'll give you an example. Today I was watching a video by Ruslan. I think he's like a famous Christian YouTuber. And yeah, some of the stuff they were talking about, like they were talking about how God doesn't just want you to think about heaven and just trying to get to heaven. All things I've said on my channel previously, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Other people are saying similar stuff to what I've said before, so I'm like, all right, maybe I don't need to be so involved with the whole YouTube thing. I can take a step back. I can go work on my own finances, reinvest in myself, do what I need to, and then come back to this. But like I said, when I hear you guys are like, oh, D, don't come back or don't disappear or whatever, I'm like, all right, cool. But I need to see that kind of like support, the integration, that we need to work together, not against each other. So yeah, a little bit of teamwork. That's all I'm asking. Not to make me go famous, not the point. It's just purely just so that I understand what you like and I can give you more of content that you like. Let's have a look at the comments. Didi's killing it up in the comment section. Thank you so much, Didi, for showing so much support. Didi, you've been like a rock star since day one. I'm not gonna lie. Didi said, Didi and D, sorry, must be the time. Little more action in D life. Little more action. Make it right. Come on, everyone. Show some love. Action in the chat. Feedback appreciated. Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, I've been quite private my entire life. I've done my thing and I've kept it to myself. As much as I like to share, I'd rather just get on and do something than set up 15 different camera angles, and I'd rather be in the moment and enjoy and do what I need to do. But if there's something that you guys want to see and you want me to, like I said, I need that kind of level of support from you guys where I'm like, all right, cool, this is something that they, if I did invest the time and effort into, it would be something they appreciate, because I can see that they appreciate the other stuff I'm doing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It just, it's not motivation. I'd say it's more, like I said, it's just giving you more of what you want and what I want. I want to make good content which helps people, that actually makes you think, that actually allows you to better yourselves. That's what I want to do. That's all I've ever done. Righteous path, trying to push that. Say, hey guys, this is all I know. Truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility. You stick with these things as your guidance. You can't go wrong in a lot of time. It will be hard, yes, but you will have a better life and you will learn a lot more and you will grow more. Pretty much all I say here. And that's what I want to keep doing. I want to do different things. Like I've said, I want to do the camping, the fishing, all these other things I want to do, but I need to invest in time and equipment in order to do this. So, like I said, right now, about to go back to work. That's what I was not saying, just because it's a me thing. It's not a you thing. So that's what's not being said. But what is being said is just, hey guys, let me know what you like. Let me know what you like, you know? Ninja watchers as well, you know, you don't always have to be in the comment section. I get it. Sometimes you might be podcasting or whatever, but leave a comment after the show. Leave something. I don't know. Anything. You know, I get a big fat 0. It's usually gospel, which I appreciate, dropping me links and stuff of things to watch, which isn't usually interesting. But I'll leave it up to you guys. Leave it up to you. I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'll leave it up to you to do your thing, you know. I think that's enough on that topic. I think I've battered that to death. Gospel. Didi says, like it, love it. You want some more of it? Crazy world. Didi says, just help build. Love supporting you, Didi. And dropped a link for, I think that's a song. Yes, it is. It's the Who. Who are you? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the evening's entertainment, which is just going to be me telling a couple of different stories. First story is going to be from today, something that happened. it was funny because it just reminded me of something that once again I've literally given this as an example previously. I think it was when I was at Speaker's Corner. I think it might have even been recorded by some of the Muslim channel guys when I was first having the conversations with them. But essentially what happened was I was going for a little walk. It's late evening, it's dark, and walking past this house that's got building work going on. And there's a tree right outside blocking the lamppost, so it's kind of dark. It's dark, and then it's even darker there because the lamppost light is being obscured by the tree. So I'm just walking along. As I'm walking along, I kick a brick, and I kind of trip, but don't trip. You know, it's just that I catch myself early enough that I don't trip, but I have to catch myself. And as I do that, I smile. I move the brick to the side. I look around, don't see any other bricks, just make sure that there's nothing else there, and then I keep walking. And it was funny because this was an example I gave at Speaker's Corner back in February when I was there, January, February times when I was there. And the example was literally, oh, imagine you're walking down the street and you walk into a brick. Now, what are your options? You could get angry that you kicked a brick and you hurt yourself and someone left a brick in the middle of the street. You could laugh at yourself that, oh, I didn't see that, and just kind of laugh it off and walk off. You could hit it and go, oh, that's not safe, and move it to the side. Like, there's a different reactions you can have when this situation may happen. And funnily enough, that's exactly what happened to me today. And my first reaction was literally just move it to the side, no stress. And I was like, okay, I am learning my own lessons. So I thought that was a nice little story from today that happened. Yeah. Welcome, Banksy. Welcome. Yeah, exactly, Didi. Walking into brick walls. I did walk back that same way, and when I was walking back, I did do another scan, and I did find another brick that I didn't see the first time. So I moved that, had another scan, didn't see anything else. So I know that because I know there's a lot of old people that walk up and down my street. So I don't want them to trip over in the middle of the night or whatever, because they go for walks at all times of the day here. It's quite safe where I am. So yeah, that was story number one. The other story was from a while back, actually. This one is going back. This one's going back to about 2008, 2009. 2008, 2009. So I was a young kid back then. Youngish. I was a young kid, probably about 15. No, slightly older. 17, 18. No, definitely older than that. Probably about 18, 19. I think about 18, 19. Maybe even older. Do you know what? I can't even remember. It was a long time ago. I'm an old man. You know, I can't tell you what age I was. But I was playing football with my cousins and some of their friends. We had this weekly thing that we would do. And we're playing football. I'm a defender. It's the position I play. I love playing in defense because, you know, if you have a good solid defense, you're set. You always create opportunities for the attacking, and the attacking can always then have opportunities to try and beat the other team because the defense is always solid. And I was a defender, so I'd have a really tough job defending, but I'd do a decent job. And the thing is, I've always been a big guy, and I know I'm talking a lot of different stuff here. I'm adding a little bit of context just so you guys understand the scenario and the situation. So I've always been a big guy, and my cousins I was playing with and their friends, they're older than me, but they're a lot smaller. Like I don't want to sound rude about it, but they're like twigs. They're like little skinny little twigs, and I'm a big guy. I've got a lot of meat to me. You know what I mean? So I'm a defender. I run, I tackle. Sometimes you get a little bit physical. It's called a barge. You know, you kind of like you up against them, and you're kind of like fighting for the space for the ball, but you're not pushing them. You're not attacking them. You're just kind of like pushing up against them. That's barging. perfectly legal in football. So I would do this easily to these other guys. And when I would do this easily to these other guys, they didn't like it and they would get upset because they were like, this kid younger than us is just pushing us off the football and we can't get past him to score a goal. Like, how the hell do we beat this guy? Like, what the hell do we do? And yeah, a lot of them started getting a little bit dirty with their tackles. Started coming at me with a bit of aggression or coming at me like, and I would give it back. I'd be like, all right, cool. If this is your level of comfort, because I'm always fair. I will always match the other side. You know, I will always try and match the other side. I don't want to give it too hard if they're going to end up injuring themselves. So I allowed them to dictate the, what's the word I'm looking for? The agreement for battle. I let the terms of battle. That's what I do. I let them agree to the terms of battle. I let them set the terms of battle, and I just go, cool. Let's play by those rules. So yeah, they started with the barging first. I carried on with the barging, and then I overpowered them. And then I started getting tackled quite aggressively, and then I gave them a few aggressive tackles back. And then one time they gave me this really dirty tackle. I'm not lying, absolutely dirty tackle. I managed to take the ball off the guy who's about to attack. I start running up. I'm running up the side. I'm gonna go pass the ball to my other player teammate so he could do his thing. So I'm just running up to create a bit of space so I can then kick it over. And as I'm running over, one of these guys comes in and takes both my legs out. Nowhere near the ball. Takes both my legs out. I go flying, and then my knees scrape like that across the AstroTurf. And if you know anything about AstroTurf, is it removes skin. It is the best thing at removing skin. If there was ever going to be a new torture device made, it'd be made of AstroTurf. Like, honestly, it's lethal. It takes layers and layers of skin off. And there's me who's going full pelt, trying to run up with the ball, getting both my legs taken out, mid-air, landing on the AstroTurf, and then sliding for a good 2.5 feet, well, 2 meters or something, 1.5 meters. I'm bad with distance in metrics and all that stuff, but I can tell you it's pretty far. I slid across, and both my knees were pink. They were pink. My knees and my shins, they were both pink. I couldn't walk properly for about 2 weeks. I couldn't play football for about 4 weeks. And this was just because, from what I felt, their jealousy. I was like, oh, they're just angry and jealous because I'm stopping them from playing football their way because I'm good at what my job is, defending. So yeah, I was very upset about that. Very, very, very upset about that. What was an even bigger kick in the nuts was my cousins barely said anything about it because these were their mates. And I was like, yo, these are your mates. This is what they've just done in front of you, and you don't give a toss. That was like, okay, cool. Okay. I don't mind, I can fight my own battles, but these are your mates, I don't want to fight battles against your mates. I want you to sort out your mates, but if I have to, I'll do what I have to do. So yeah, give it a couple of weeks. Nobody says anything. Nobody cares. I come back. They keep messaging me. They're like, "Oh, you coming for football?" I'm like, "Look, my legs are pink still. Like, I can't do anything." But that's all they say. Caring about the football game, nothing about me and my injury. Give it a few weeks. I come back to football, and I'm like, "All right, cool. I want to play football." And I just want to play football. I just want to have some fun because I'm like, yeah, that pissed me off. Yeah, it was annoying. Yeah, it put me out of action for a few weeks, but I'm back now and I'm healthy and I want to play football. So I played football. I think we got about half an hour, 45 minutes in before they started doing the dodgy tackles again. And I was like, these guys haven't learned their lesson. I've just had to come off football for 4 weeks to recover, and now they're doing the dodgy tackles again. And I got so angry. I was like, all right, cool. You want violence? I'll give you violence. If this is how you want to play a game. And this is the lesson of the story, okay? Because I was like, I was fully righteous in my anger. I was like, yo, they've done it to me once, and they're trying to do it again, and they are out of bounds, and I am gonna hurt them. I am gonna make sure that they regret even thinking about doing a dirty tackle. So I was proper righteous in my anger, and I saw the guy who took my legs out, the guy who took both my legs out the week before, the 4 weeks before when I was last football. I saw him get the ball, and I was like, okay, this is it. It's my turn. So I start heading straight for him. I am running as fast as I can. I am putting my full weight in every single step. I am coming at him like a rhino. Honestly, I am going to destroy you. I am going to break at least 2 bones when I hit you. I am like, I will make you feel the pain that you've made me feel, because you did not have any empathy or any kind of remorse afterwards. And as I'm running down, heading straight for him, God goes, nope. God goes, nope. He steps to the side, and I'm like, shit. I'm going too fast, too hard, straight for the wall. I was like, damn, there's no stopping me now. Either I'm going to hit this wall and I'm going to end up breaking something, or I need to stick my leg out and kind of slow myself down and kind of like slide or fall or something, take a tumble rather than a smash into the wall, because I was going at some insane speed, full force, rhino speed, straight for this guy. And God went, nope, moved him to the side. I stuck my leg out, and that was it. That was game over for me. As soon as I stuck my leg out, because I was going at such force, my knee, so you know your knee goes this way, like this. My knee went that way and then that way. So instead of doing this, my knee went that way. Like, I can't even bend my hand that way. Like, it went that way and then that way. So as that happened, I heard pops, and that was it. I was on the floor in absolute agony. And I couldn't then walk for about 8 months. I could not put any pressure on that leg for 8 months. I was a bit of a hop along. I was just hopping along everywhere. It was absolutely horrible. But that was the mistake I made. My mistake was thinking about my righteous anger, thinking that, oh, because he's done this to me, I am justified in doing this back to him. You understand? And that was my lesson. That was God trying to show me that, listen, regardless of what you think people have done to you, you don't decide about righteous anger. That's his domain. That's up to God. You know, you got to leave that work up to him, because he knows truly how to punish and how to deal with these situations. We take it too personally. We end up getting too involved and end up hurting ourselves. So that was the story. Hop along, Didi. Yeah. That was the story of how I actually ended up hurting my knee quite badly, and that was the knee flare up that happened when I went up the mountain at Mount Snowdon. But yeah, separate stories, completely different. One is about my stupid righteous anger, thinking that I was justified in getting someone back for something they did to me, and then the other story was about me overcoming people saying, "Nah, come drink," and me going up a mountain and even against the pain. So two different stories. That's why they're separate, guys. But yeah, that was that story from messing up my knee. But this is what I mean. This is why I say, like, honestly, that was so much pain. I was so upset. I couldn't play football anymore for ages and ages and ages. Um, and I love playing football. I love just I loved having a reason to run around for an hour. It was great. You're running around for an hour chasing a ball. Fantastic. Great reason to run around, and you're having fun with friends. When they're not trying to kill you, when they're not trying to take your legs out, you could have fun with friends, playing games, tough games, when it's 1-1, or when it's really tough game as well, because no one likes an easy game. When you're just scoring goal after goal after goal, you'd like it to be a tough game. So I loved playing football, but because of that stupid mistake I made, I couldn't play football for such a long time, and I got to walk on my knee. It gave me a lot of issues, especially in cold weather. But now, thank God, he's been healing it slowly, at his pace. The best way to heal, slowly. You don't want to rush healing. Didi says pain comes and goes. Yes, not anymore. Not anymore. Nowadays, it's fine. I don't even think about it. Before, what it was as soon as, like, if when you're going up the stairs and you pick up your leg to take a step. As soon as I picked up my leg, it felt like the bottom of my leg was going to fall out of my knee joint. It just felt like it was wobbly and it was just going to fall out constantly. And that was for a long period of time. And then slowly that strength got built up around the muscles around it and stuff. And, I don't know, God knows the science. But yeah, it's much better. Thanks for asking. Didi says tough game, but want it fair. Exactly. You want a tough game, but you want it fair. You want to have fun, but you want it to be tough. You don't want an easy game, and you want everyone to be playing by the same rules. Like I said, that's the way I played with these guys. Sorry, just put my camera back in focus. It's a bit weird. There we go. Yeah, so typically what would happen is I'd get tackled. I'd stand there. I'd go, that's technically not a legal move to do. What was going on? And everyone would be like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just carry on. It's fine. It wasn't serious. And I go, okay, cool. So I could do that kind of tackle and it won't be serious. But then when I did it, then they'd get upset. It's always the one rule for me, another rule for you, one of those situations. I like a fair game. I like everyone playing by the same rules, because then, we could play and have fun. If everyone's playing by their own rules, nobody's having fun. Everyone's just too busy, annoyed that nobody's playing by their rules. Cool. There was a third story I wanted to tell as well, but I'm not sure. Should we end the stream here, or let's have a look and see how long we've been going on for? All right, we've been going on for half an hour. Should we do one more story? A more recent story? Come on, Didi. It's up to you. Since you're the only one here, you could decide. My only supporter. It's up to you, Didi. I thought you were Didi. You keep calling me Didi. I'm so confused now. I thought you're Didi. You love the stories. Thank you. I'm glad you do. I hope they help understand things for life and think. I am D or D. You are D or D or Didi. Cool. All right, cool. We'll do one more story. We'll do a recent story. D or Didi. Cool. D or Didi. Let's go for a recent story. Let's see. What did I learn recently? You are double D. D, double D, DD. Okay, cool. You're D or DD. I'm double D. Cool. So many Ds. Cool. Yeah, the story I've got for now is going to be about. It's gonna be about. Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking of a few different stories, but I'm trying to think of the best. Maybe you could prompt me, Gospel. Give me a word, a random word that you're thinking of. Maybe that will help make me decide which story I'm going to tell. A random word. It could be about anything. Anything you want, Dee Dee. Fear. Ooh, okay. Fear. Interesting. Fear. Fear. Story of fear. Um, cool. Okay. I could talk about fear. So this is something I was thinking about recently. Do you know how people talk about manifestation? You know, like the whole what you think is what you create in life, that whole situation. And they always say that you don't want to be thinking anything about anything with fear, because when you think about it with fear, fear is a very powerful emotion. And if you think about something with fear, you're sending out that powerful emotive thought to the universe of, oh, I'm scared of that. Don't let that happen. And because you're saying it with so much emotion, it draws. That's the theory behind manifestation. It draws the negative fear thing to you. And I was just thinking about this the other day, because most things I fear, I don't fear for long. Meaning, if something comes into my head and I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, oh, what if this thing happens and then this thing happens and this thing happens and then this bad thing happens? And I just sit there and I go, oh, what if? You know, we all have these thoughts. What if? What if this bad thing happens? But instead of going, no, I don't want that bad thing to happen, I think about it. I go, okay, I could see that why I don't want this bad thing to happen, because it's not it doesn't seem pleasurable. But if it does happen, God made it happen for a reason, and I will learn something from it. So I've got nothing to fear, because whether it happens or it doesn't happen, I will learn something and I will grow from it. So as soon as you say this about the situation that came into your head with the fear, at that point, you're letting that fear not be fear anymore. Now you're looking at it with something else, and you're just going, if it does happen, it will teach me something. So you're not saying, no, universe, don't give this to me. So you're not putting out that fear. You're just going, if it does happen, I'll learn something. I trust God. God's the master of the story. He knows best. If he thinks I need to learn something by something like that happening, then that's what I need to learn. If he thinks that I can skip that lesson, then I can skip that lesson. Whatever happens, happens. And then that way you don't put out this energy of fear into the universe. You you you, you change it into something positive that God can give you. I'm hoping that is making a bit of sense to you guys. This is more for the people who go down the manifestation route, for the people who try and the thing is, even if you don't try and use it for manifestation, this is a really good understanding of how to channel your mind into positive thoughts, because you are what you think you are, essentially. So there's people out there who think, oh, I'm nervous, I'm shy, and because they think this, they act it and they become it. You are what you think you are. Don't get me wrong. You can't just go, oh, I'm a rock star, and then turn up without never playing an instrument, trying to rock out in a band or something. No, it doesn't work like that. This is more of a changing your mindset kind of thing. Instead of being so negative and down on yourself, it's about going more positive and not fear-based, but more hope-based, truth-based, love-based, God-based, based. I hope that made sense. I'm hoping this is making sense to you guys out there. Dee says, yes, you manifest it more. Okay, sweet. Yep, you let go of it. Think of the worst outcome and figure how to unfear it. Yes, exactly. Because the fear comes from within. It's your response to something external, and you could control yourself. You can't control the external. You could control yourself. So yes, spot on there, Didi. Didi also says, yes, God wants you to not fear. He will comfort you in any situation. Yes, exactly. I'm pretty sure you're the one who told me that Jesus said something about how we shouldn't worry about the next day and that we should always just have trust in God, something like that, something along those lines. I'm sure someone, either you or someone else, had a story about that. Gospel says, do you have a fear story you overcame, D? Yeah, every day. Every day you overcome some kind of new fear or some kind of, you're overcoming something constantly. That's why I said yesterday on a previous stream, I said that at some point with meditation, after you still your mind, you start introducing new things to battle. You start introducing new thoughts to battle and becoming stronger by facing those fears, these new thoughts, these new anxieties, whatever they are. You face them. You don't run away from them. You face them. That's what I typically try to do every single day. So I don't let fears, typically don't let them build up. The thing is, I don't want to sound big-headed and say I'm not scared of anything, because that's obviously not true. We're all scared of something at some point until we overcome it. So I'd rather say I'm more adept at overcoming certain things. Like, I'll give anything a go. You know what I mean? I'll give anything, even if I'm like, even a bit yucky, I'll still give everything a go if I have to. You know, I saw a video of someone eating live octopus today, and I was like, if I had to, I would, but I don't feel any kind of urgency or need to eat octopus that's still kind of moving. I'm just like, no. I'm just like, I'm sorry. It just, I'll do it if I have to, but it's just like if there's a gun pointing to my head situation. But it's just like, why though? Why for the pleasure? There is no. I don't find no pleasure in eating something that's still moving him up. It's just weird. So you know, there's different kind of things that it's not fear. It's just more of a, I have no need to. But yeah, otherwise, overcoming fears, the only way you could overcome fears is by doing them. Let's see, what fear did I... See, the thing is, I went and climbed the mountain. I was planning on doing that by myself with the story I told about going to Mount Snowdon. I was planning on doing that by myself. You could say maybe that's a fear. Weren't you scared of dying up there on your own or something? You know, like going in the middle of the winter, you going by yourself, like you didn't eat, you didn't prep. Weren't you scared of all these? No. I trust God. I trust God. You know what I mean? So fear doesn't even come into it. It's just trust God, 100%. It is what it is. When I went to Scotland and I nearly died, I was like, trust God, 100%. And God came through for me so many times during that trip. It's, you know what I mean? It's like I could do all the worrying and all the fear in the world, but it doesn't change the fact that, you know, what's going to happen is going to happen. And all I can do is just smile because it's part of my story that God decided. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, fear. Okay. How about this? There is one fear I typically have. This one I found really difficult to overcome. It's the fear that someone I care about is hurt because of me. That's a massive, massive fear. It took me ages to overcome this, and I would like to say I've overcome it, but maybe it's still slightly there. But I think I'm almost over it. But it's the idea that someone close to me being hurt because of me, either my actions, like doing something bad to them and causing them a lot of pain, or someone trying to get to me by hurting them. Either way, I worry about that. I worry about my actions and the actions, the result of my actions on people around me. But once again, this is where I turn to God and I go, I trust you, God. I trust you 110%, 100,000,000%. Like no matter what, like I trust you. If something happens, it was supposed to happen, and it's part of the story, and I've got to learn from it and grow from it, and you know, it is what it is. So that's how I'm overcoming that fear of which I wouldn't really consider a fear anymore, like I said, because it's more overcome. But it's just something that I could reference to you because you wanted an example of something that really, 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 really scared me, and I'd say that was the biggest fear I've ever had. Didi says yes. Take no thought for tomorrow. Yeah. Ever watch Fear Factor? What they did for money? Yeah, I think I've seen like scenes. It's like where they ate bugs and did all this, like sitting in a tank full of snakes and things like that. Yeah, cool, no problem. I I don't know. The snake pit thing. I just think that okay, most of these snakes are going to be, not most, all of them are going to be non-venomous. You know, so the biggest threat is getting bit by a snake and getting poisoned. If they're making a show and they were going to put some poisonous ones in, then they'll have anti-venom at hand. So in that, there is no risk in that fear game. Essentially, it's just more of a because most people nowadays are very sheltered. They don't see animals very often. They don't see snakes very often. They're very skittish and scared all the time, fear based. That's why that show was good for that. It was just about, I think, getting people out of that mindset of just fear based thing. But yeah, it was interesting, but not my cup of tea. Because I think what's that other show that I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here thing, the one where they're in the forest with Ant and Dec. That's been going on for many different seasons, and that was something similar to that as well, where they'd have these challenges where they put them through all these things where they have to eat the craziest things or whatever. Suvi's in the chat. Welcome back. Didi says, yes, trust God. He will direct and lead and work all things for the good of those that love him. Yep, 100%. Suvi says, I used to watch Fear Factor. Was interesting. Didi says, yeah, snakes, bugs, eating organs. Yeah, exactly. It's just things that people consider gross. It wasn't anything actually dangerous. Suvi's asking, what's my thoughts on the P. Diddy case? I don't know much about it. It's celebrities doing things for pleasure. People don't like it, crosses some lines. I don't know if he did anything with kids or anything, but it's so he says, dude, it's big. Yeah, I know it's a lot of people talk about it, but it's just someone did something bad and now he's about to go to jail for it. Essentially, that's the story. And just because he's a celebrity, people are like, oh, it's like people do bad stuff all the time. It's like, I need something more. Why is it interesting, Suvi? Why is it interesting to you about P. Diddy? Why do you want to know my thoughts on the P. Diddy case, Suvi? Why? I think there was Gospel said, what about movie Saw? I did like the movie Saw, I'm not gonna lie. I know I said I don't like a lot of horror stuff, but I didn't find Saw as horror. I found it more psychological. I thought it was more of a psychological thriller. It was more of a insight into the mind of a crazy person, you know, the guy who kidnaps these people. And because I think it's something along the lines of that he feels like he was, which is funnily enough similar to my story that I told you at the about the football. He feels slighted, so he goes around and then he gets people into these situations where he's like, okay, now it's your turn. I was messed up. Now it's your turn to get messed up. So it's kind of like my football story. I got messed up and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to get you back. And that was the stupidest thing I could ever have done, but the smartest thing also, because it taught me a valuable lesson very early on in life, which is let it go. Let it go. Leave it up to God. Let it go and leave it up to God. Very important lesson. So yeah, if the guy in Saw turned to God and learned that lesson early on, there would be no movie called Saw. So it was just interesting, and yeah, it was quite horrific in the way some of the experiments were done, but I thought it was quite interesting for the psychological aspect. Suvi says could be extended into political stuff and royals. Yeah, no, sure. I've touched on the royals doing the pedo stuff. Talked about, but the thing is, bringing that awareness to it is great if people are going to do something about it. These situations are on the bigger scale. Now, I come from a simple philosophy. Simple philosophy is change starts at home. There's no point gathering all the men up and going to the government and the royal family and going, all right, cool, you're going to prison, and shoving them all in prison. That's not going to solve anything, okay? All that's going to do is take those people out of power, put new people in power who will do the same stupidness, because the system is the same, people are the same. People have been corrupted by degeneracy. So that's not going to solve anything. Revolution on its own, where you go off and do this kind of thing, doesn't solve anything. What you need to do is revolution of the home. You need to start at home first with your own families. If you can't change your family, how are you going to change the world? You got to start at home. So you work with your family, and then you work with your community, slightly bigger, and then they work with their community. And before you know it, the change starts from within. That change then grows, and before you know it, everyone is doing the right thing. Nobody's forced to do the right thing. Nobody's needed to get an army together to force people to do the right thing. People are doing it themselves because the change started from themselves. Yeah, simple as that. And then that whole dodginess with the P Diddy's and the royal families and all this stuff, it won't even be a thing anymore. We won't even need to discuss it because it'll be eradicated. It'll be gone. Nobody will be thinking like that or doing these dodgy things. So yeah, the aim of the game is to make changes, but it's waves, small waves. You start every pebble into the river or into the lake starts off with small ripples, and then it extends bigger and bigger and bigger. You got to start with the small ripples first, and that's in the home. That's in the family home. That's why I said at the very beginning of starting this channel was actually aimed at future parents. This channel was aimed at people who are going to be future parents, so that you know how to give your kids the right guidance to make sure that they are the best versions of themselves. You know what I mean? So yes, that's the idea behind it there, Suvi, if you didn't get it already. Let's see what else have I missed. Didi says, think a lot of ex-slaves and selling children. Yeah, a lot of that stuff happens, but like I said, you can't go out there and change this. There's criminal organizations, there's corrupt government people who allow certain things to happen. You can't change that as an individual or even as a group. Like I said, once you take them out of power, someone else comes into power and they do the same thing, because all you're doing is removing the person in charge, but you're not changing the way people think. You're not making people better. You're just going, oh, he's the problem, let's get rid of him. And it's like, no, the problem's still there. He wasn't the problem. He was the one in charge of that problem. But now someone else is in charge of that problem. It's not actually dealt with the issue at hand. Sylvie dropping snowflakes. Didi says, yeah, with Saw, you had to make choices in horrible situation with Psycho. Yes, exactly. But he did give him one option: life or disability. And a lot of people couldn't choose life. No, well, mainly because they had to disable themselves, because they actually had to. It was tough psychologically to cut yourself and do. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's really tough choices to make, but you know, in the end, if you're climbing a mountain and your hand gets gangrene on it, at that point you have to decide: do I chop off the hand and save the arm, or do I just let it keep going and lose the arm as well? You know what I mean? Sometimes in situations you do have to make the hard choice. We should be prepared to make that choice if we have to. We shouldn't be looking forward to making these choices. Shouldn't be forced upon us, but we should be able to think of the bigger picture, the greater good. And yeah, pain is temporary. Pain is temporary. Did he say, oh, Suvi's singing Let It Go Frozen? I don't understand Suvi's singing Let It Go Frozen. I think, Suvi, have you lost the plot there or have I? It must be you. Definitely you. Because you're the only one singing. Is it snowing outside? What's going on, Suvi? Didi says, yeah, like Oprah and other celebs involved. Money, yep. Dropping some links. Thanks for that there, Didi. Maybe put them all on a private island. God will still judge the wicked evildoers and anyone hurts his little ones. Yep. That is the problem. They don't have God. Yeah, exactly. God solves a lot of problems. All the problems, to be honest. Not a lot, all. Yeah, God gives us a choice, life with him or our choice. Yeah, exactly. Suvi says, congratulations on job if you got one. Suvi, are you having the same conversation as us? I am so confused. Or are you just really far back in the stream? Suvi's talking about Frozen and then what's going on there, Suvi? Where are you at? Didi says, like, so stick your hand in acid to get the key out. Choice. Yes, exactly. Choice. Tough choice. So yeah, sticking your hand in acid would be equivalent to doing the righteous path. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be painful. It's going to be hard, but it's worth it because it gives you life. So yeah, good comparison there. Good comparison. I don't like the comparison God to a crazy guy, but yeah. Well, I don't think he's that crazy, but he's made out to be crazy, I think. Because he's in a crazy institute as well at some point, I think. Maybe in the last one. I think it's called X, Saw X, number 10. Oh, I said let it go while talking. Yes, I did say let it go. Let it go in regards to anger. Yes. Okay, thanks. I'm just a little bit behind. Didi says no fear. All fear leaves with God. Exactly. Suvi says you mentioned you're working soon. Before. Oh yeah. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. I'm trusting God to get me a decent job doing hopefully something good for people. I just want to help people. I just want to do something that helps people. I've seen jobs out there that I could go to where I'm like, oh, selling this or selling that, and it's typically selling something that people don't need or want. So yeah, I'm not going down that route. I could go back to the buses, but yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens. God's the master planner. I'm sure he'll open the right doors for me at the right time. Sui says, I was a ninja while I got stuff done around the house. No worries. Just make sure you hit that like button. Gospel, Didi says, crazy illustration, but real. Yes, exactly. God bless you with the job helping people. Hopefully. We'll see what he's got lined up for me. We'll see what happens. No stress. But for now, I think that's enough stories. We've had a nice little chat. How long's the stream going on? Ooh, an hour. We've had a nice little hour to ourselves, guys. I hope that's been good for you guys. I've actually enjoyed this. This has been quite nice. I do enjoy telling my stories. It helps me remember them, firstly, because I don't reminisce about a lot of my stories. I don't think about my stories a lot, about my life. I typically just focus on the next day or whatever I'm doing. But every once in a while, I do think back, and it is nice because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the times I forgot what half of the stuff I've done in my life. There's times I sit there and I go, oh my god, I did that. I can't believe I did that. That was so cool, or that was so much fun, or whatever, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate spending this time with you guys, reminiscing and chatting and telling stories. Hope you guys learned something. Hope it helped someone along the way. Like the content only if you like the content. Dislike it if you don't like it. But give me a reason at least if you do dislike it. Share it if you think anyone would be interested in listening to me talk. And What else is there? Oh, subscribe. Yes, you could always subscribe. You could always hit that subscribe button and then also hit that bell notification and select all to ensure you get all notifications. But that is it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a lovely evening. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week in case I don't come back for a stream. I might take a break. I know you're like, D, you've just come back and you're taking another break. Like I said, got to figure out life and sort out work situation and whatnot. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, okay? But yes, take care, guys. Hope you have an amazing evening. Thank you all. Love you all. Appreciate you all. And I shall see you next time.
Yeah, I've been through the shadows, walked in the night, seen the world get heavy, try to crush my light. The hope keeps burning deep in my soul, the flame that won't fade, yeah, it keeps me whole. When life gets rough and the clouds roll in, hope is the anchor that pulls me again. In the darkest of times, when all seems lost, hope breaks through no matter the cost. Hope never dies, it shines through the pain, through every storm, every drop of rain. When the world goes dim and I'm down to my knees, hope lifts me up, sets my spirit free. They say light can't shine without a little dark. Hope's that spark, yeah, ignites the heart. When the path ain't clear and the road feels long, hope gives me strength, makes me strong. I've seen despair try to steal my fight, but hope keeps pushing like day through night. It's a voice in my head saying keep going strong, tells me I'm right where I belong. Hope never dies, it shines through the pain, through every storm, every drop of rain. When the world goes dim and I'm down to my knees, hope lifts me up, sets my spirit free. Hope's like the sun after endless rain. It's a light that heals, it's a balm for pain. It don't fade, don't break, don't bend. It's the beat of my heart, my forever friend. So when I'm lost, I look to the sky. Hope's in the stars, it's the reason why. Why I stand, why I rise, why I keep on fighting. Hope's my armor when the world starts biting. It whispers, hold on, don't give up yet. Through every tear, through every regret, hope's the fire that never goes out. Through every struggle, every doubt, hope never dies, it shines through the pain, through every storm, every drop of rain. When the world goes and I'm down to my knees, hope lifts me up, sets my spirit free. Hope's like the sun after endless rain. It's a light that heals, it's a balm for pain. It don't fade, don't break, don't bend. It's the beat of my heart, my forever friend. So when I'm lost, I look to the sky. Hope's in the stars, it's the reason why. Why I stand, why I rise, why I keep on fighting. Hope's my armor when the world starts biting. It whispers, hold on, don't give up yet. Through every tear, through every regret, hope's the fire that never goes out. Through every struggle, every doubt, through every struggle, every doubt, hope never dies.
And I'm back again. Oh, and you thought it was over. You thought it was over. Oh, back again. All right, I thought I'd do one more story. I don't know, just feeling, I was just listening to the song, I was loving it. I was like, you know what? Let's do one more story. Let's do one more story. Why not? For those that stuck around, let's do one more story. That's it, Didi. Back again. Back again. The night's not over yet. They wanted more. They got more. Oh, I love it. Anyways, so yeah, I thought I'd tell another story. I thought we'd go for one more. One more story for the ninjas. Oh, for the ninjas. Oh, let's give the ninjas a story. Let's talk about ninjas. Let's talk about ninja style. Let's do a ninja style story then. Okay, ninja style story. Ninja style, ninja style. Ninja style's probably a bit too dangerous for YouTube. I think that would have to be another time, the ninja stories, the ones I'm thinking of anyway. But what we'll do is we'll do my water story. I think I don't know if I've told my water story. Didi, you might remember. Since you said Ninja Turtles, I'm thinking water. Did I ever tell you my late night swim? Did I ever share about my late night swim with you guys? Don't think I did. We won't do the late night swim. We won't do the late night swim. God, a lot of my stories aren't rated for YouTube. The ones that come into my head at the moment, anyway. I guess maybe we'll have to do a bit of a dodgy one, a dodgy story. Gospel says Nodi swimming. Oh, you want the swimming story? Okay. Okay, so this is going a little while back, not too far back, but a little while back. It's a weird story. It is such a weird story. This is why I haven't mentioned it before. I don't know what the lesson. Well, I think I know what the lesson is, but it was such a weird story for me to do. Like, it was so random. I was like, this is weird, but let's do this. Let's do this. So this goes back about a year or so ago, a little bit more than a year. This is while I was still figuring life out, which I am now at this moment as well, still figuring life out now too. So nothing's changed there. But in regards to a year ago, I was in a completely different place. Still figuring life out, still trusting God, still trying to get closer to God, trying to find that connection with God even deeper than I had at the time. And I was trying to 2023, I believe. I maybe in 2022, I can't remember. The years go by so quickly. But yeah, it's either 2023 or 2022. But yeah, so I was trying to get closer to God, and I was trying to do my thing. I was meditating a lot more. I was thinking about God a lot more. Like, I already told you my dream about the whole patience, that I'm not ready yet. That whole thing happened like 15 years ago. So this happens nearly 15 years later. And it's kind of like I'm starting to feel weird energy. I'm like, things are about to happen in the world. Shifts are happening in the world. And I need to get closer to God. And I don't know. For some reason, as I was meditating, randomly, God sent a message to me to just go to a particular place and dip into the water and have a dip, basically. That was it. It was literally go and have a dip in some water. And I was like, is that it? What you like? What's that supposed to accomplish? Like, I don't get it. God is like, is it like some special water? What's gonna happen? Like, what's going on? Like, why all of a sudden you're like, oh, you need to go to this particular place and you need to go into the water there? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And I was just like, I was putting it off for a little while because I was like, where I'm supposed to do this is a pretty public place and stuff. And I'm like, I was like, I don't know if it's going to be weird if someone just ends up in the water there or something. But I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, this is weird. I don't know if I should do this. Like, what's going on? And I just kept waiting. I was putting it off and I was just thinking about it. And I kept thinking about it, mulling it over, kept referring back to meditation. trying to get more guidance in life, trying to go with the flow of life, see where it takes me, see whether it's just my head playing games with me or some dodginess. But no, as I was going through life, I was getting more and more signs that I was supposed to go do this, and more messages, like through meditation, like an urge to go and do this. And I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm supposed to do this." And all of a sudden, my friend, who I haven't spoken to in years, um, gets in contact with me, and he wants to meet up and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, cool, that sounds good. And I'm gonna tell you what we call him, his name. And it's funny, his name, because it's what we call him. His name's Mo, okay? But we call him Moses. So Moses calls me out of the blue after years, and he's like, "Yeah, let's go meet up. Let's have a few not drinks, but have a little dinner or something. Have a few desserts." We went to some dessert place close by. We were chilling, talking, catching up on life, and we were then just driving around, heading back home, and then we ended up close by to where I'm supposed to go for this water dunk. And I'm like, this is weird. Why are we here? Like, why are we so close to this place that I'm like been thinking about so heavily these past few weeks? So I just say to my friend, I'm like, oh, just drive up here. Let's just go up here for a minute. And he does. And I'm like, all right, cool. He doesn't protest. He doesn't say anything else. So I'm like, we'll see what happens. And we end up going there. And I'm like, all right, cool. I need to go do something. You could wait here or you could come with me. And either way, it's all good. But I'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. And my mate was like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Why are you going there? It's the middle of the night. Like, what are you planning on doing? Like, what's going on? And I was like, nothing. It's just something I've just got to tick off. I don't know what it's about. I don't get it either. I've just got to go do something. You know, I trust God, you know. I didn't want to explain to him too much because I don't think he would have got it. But I did try and hint at it. But yeah, he wasn't getting it. So I was just like, it is what it is. I just got to go take care of something I've got playing on my mind. Just go tick it off my list. So I go off into the dark on my own. He drives off. He's too scared. He's like, oh, I'm so scared. I can't hang around here. I need to go. I was like, yeah, cool. Go do your thing. I'll give you a call when I'm back. And when I'm done with my thing, I'll give you a call and you could pick me up and then we could carry on hanging out and doing whatever. So yeah, I went off. He went off. There was me walking through the dark, going to this place that I was supposed to go to. Strip down, jump into the water, dip my head underwater, jump out, and I go, cool, done. Now what? Now what? Like, God, like, something's supposed to happen? Like, what's going to happen now? Like, what was the point of that? And as I was saying this, talking to God, going like, yo, what's the point of this? And I start putting my clothes on. I start walking back to the car. And as I'm walking back to the car, I feel kind of refreshed. I'm not going to lie. I did feel refreshed. Water was ice cold and my hair was wet. And it was just refreshing as I was walking back in the middle of the night, even though it was a cold breeze. It was just nice, refreshing. I felt a calmness over me. I'm not going to lie. Afterwards, after doing it, I know it wasn't some kind of special, miraculous moment or anything like that. It was just that I was told to do this. It was something that was playing on my mind. I did it, and I felt at ease, and I felt so relaxed. Gave my friend a call back. He came, picked me up, and then we left to do our thing. And as we went off, I do this thing where I've done it with you guys on stream, where I pull up a random Bible verse or a random Hindu verse or whatever. I pull up a random verse for some kind of wisdom in the moment. And as we're driving back, and I'm feeling a bit of peace, and I'm just explaining to him, no, I feel good. I feel really relaxed. I actually feel better than I did before. And as I'm explaining this to him, I'm like, I just want to double check something. So I pulled up a random generator thing, and the verse that came up, I'm not going to lie, I swear to God, it was talking about going into the water as a way of cleansing, and a way of cleansing, and a way of making new, fresh start in something. And yeah, I just felt at peace. I was like, yeah, cool. That's my confirmation that like that was something I had to do, and I do feel at peace from doing this thing. That because I'm once again something that you asked earlier, Didi, about fear. So there was a fear that like, am I going crazy? Like, what's going on? Like, why do I feel the urge to go have a dip in the water? Like, what is this? Um, so there was a bit of fear of that, and there was a bit of fear of like, I'm not special. Like, I don't want to go down the crazy route and start thinking I'm special. I didn't want any of that. I was just like, I just want to put this at rest. And it did. It put it at rest for me, and it gave me so much peace. And then afterwards, getting the confirmation from the random verse that talks about water being cleansing and a way to start something new, I was like, yes, okay, cool. The God is definitely guiding me. It's not in my head. And I do feel so much calmer and so much more relaxed and fresh and ready for whatever. And that led on to the multiple journeys I took later on in the year. So that came out of nowhere. So that's a story I've been kind of like wanting to tell, but not wanting to tell because it doesn't sound, for me, it sounds like I'm just boasting about something like, oh, look how religious I am, look how spiritual I am. Oh, but it's not for me. It's more of a. It seems like that a little bit, but that's not the reason I wanted to share it. The reason I wanted to share it was the fact that the whole stigma of wanting to do something a bit strange, but not wanting to do it because it's strange, and then there's other people looking at you going, "What are you going to do? You're going to go take a dip in the middle? What are you doing?" People are always going to be skeptical, but you always have to have faith. You always have to have faith and trust and believe in God that He's got the best plan for you. And if He's leading you to do something, and you know it's from God, because it's usually coming with truth, love, compassion, contentment, and humility. And if He's leading you to do something, then trust in Him. Trust in Him. Take that leap of faith, because it pays off. It pays off. So that's the story I wanted to tell. The reason for it, nothing to do with the spiritual side of things. Everyone's on the spiritual journey. Everyone's got a similar story to this. Okay, everyone has a similar story to this. At some point in their life, they will have some kind of experience where they have to push and do something that everyone's like, that's weird, but they're like, no, I feel like God is pushing me to do this thing, and they do it, and they get that peace afterwards. So yeah, that's the extra story for you special people that stayed behind after this song. Let's read some of these comments. Didi says Momo Moses. Yeah, exactly, Moses. Gospel says wade in the water, go out a little bit deep. Yeah, I could have done, but for me, it wasn't a message of go swimming. It was just literally of go take a dip, go put your head on the water. Literally, just go put your head on the water. That's all you need to do. And for me, it was a symbolism of putting myself into the current of life. For a long time, I was kind of like go with the flow and stuff, and just kind of letting people do their own thing. And this was starting my journey into actually deciding to actually start talking to people and communicating what I do know and my experiences and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, my symbolism is it was a way of the flow of life. Get involved in the flow of life. Put yourself into the flow of life now. So I don't know. Maybe there's another meaning that I'll discover in the future, but that's kind of what I've got at the moment. Didi says you listened to God and peace came over you. You surrendered to the will of God. 100%. Yeah, surrender to the will of God. 100%. Even if it sounds a little bit crazy, I trust Him. 100%. So yeah, You should always be trusted. He's the only one you can trust. You know, he's the one who created everything. He's the one who leads everything. He's in charge of everything. He's the only one you could trust. People will always try and betray you and stuff. Even people with the best intentions will sometimes betray you. So yeah, people are fickle. God is 100% solid. You know, you could never ever go wrong with relying on God. Didi says Acts 8:36, and as they went on their way, they came unto a certain water, and the eunuch said, "See, here is water. What doth hinder me to be baptized?" Yeah, yeah. All you need is water. If all you need is water for a baptism, you got water. Didi says, "Beautiful." Yes, D. If he leads you, do it. God guides and directs. God is good. God so loves. He pushes us, and we know it's him. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Didi. Acts 8:36, and as they went on their way, they came into a certain water, and the eunuch said, "Oh wait, I read that one, didn't I?" Yes, I did. Suvi dropped a star. Suvi says, "I had a sign from God recently. I never dream of God, so that was new." Yeah, please go ahead, go ahead and share the story, Suvi, with the dream of God. Suvi says, "I understand you at the, oh, this one I will keep to myself." Oh, okay then. God understands. Yeah, your relationship with God is your relationship with God. You know, you don't have to share it if you don't want to. Didi says, "God understands us and loves us." Yes, he does. I am impressed, Suvi, because if I remember correctly, many streams ago, you said you were an atheist. You said you did not believe in God. So, interesting. You've joined the God team, have you? You're now a believer. Or are you still undecided? You're just having dreams about God. Didi says God still answers prayer in his time. He will work a miracle. He never fails. Nope, never fails. And it's always in his timing, not our timing. This is what a lot of people don't realize this as well. It's what he wants and not what you want. So he says you don't, he just came. Oh, so you don't believe in God still, but he came in your dream. Okay. So how do you know he came in your dream if you don't believe in him? You could just say you had a dream, but it wasn't God because you don't believe in God. So it was just a dream about a God-like figure, but it wasn't God if you don't believe in God. Unless you believe it was God, then you do believe in God. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so the thing about God is that he answers in his own time and he gives you what he thinks you need, not what you think you need. Because there's a lot of people, they do this thing where they go, "Oh, God, if you really exist, please give me this thing. Okay? If you give me this thing, I know that you exist." And then they don't get that thing. And then they go, "Oh, I guess God doesn't exist." It's like, no, you're telling God what you want and you're telling him when you want it. That's not how God works. God isn't a genie. You don't ask him for things and he just gives them to you just because you asked. No, he's not your servant. We're here to serve God. We need to ask him, how can we help you? How can we try and make you this world that you've created for us better for you? Oh, look, in all these religions you've given us instructions. Awesome. How about we follow them? You know, let's love each other. Let's be more kind, caring. Let's not focus on greed, attachment, pride, lust, ego. Let's focus on truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility. You know, but nope. People are like, nope. It has to be done by my timeline, and he has to give me what I want, and blah blah. Blah. No. Just trust God. He will give you the best. He will give you the best, but you have to trust him to give you the best. If you don't trust him to give you the best, and you're going to go get what you think you deserve, trust me, you will get what you deserve, and it's not what you think. Because at that point, you're putting more faith in yourself than you are in God. Didi says, God's timing, he does not want none to perish, but all come to everlasting life with the Father. His love for us all, he is merciful and patient, and his grace abounds. Yes. Suvi says, because it was a figure I knew. I'm a Hindu, an image of one of the gods. Oh, okay, cool. But it wasn't God, because you don't believe in God. Just an image of God for you. Oh, welcome back. Sorry about that. I have no idea what just happened. The Matrix attacked. Anyways, where was I with the comments? Oh yeah, Suvi was saying she's a Hindu, an image of one of the gods. Didi says, ask God to show you who he really is. The love of the Father will show you, reveal who he is. Didi says, only one God, if you asked, will come. Suvi says, I'm definitely enjoying one of God's gifts. Which one of God's gifts is that? Life? Oh, okay. Gospel say Didi says James 1:17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. God gives eternal life, love forever. Meditation from Suvi. Didi, don't know, kicked me out. But thing with this StreamYard is it lets me back in, which is good. If this was using my other program, it would have just ended the stream. So I'm liking this whole setup. Although it does keep doing this buffering thing every once in a while. Suvi says, Puff, he disappeared. The aliens got him. Yeah, the alien war's still going on, isn't it? Yeah, they may have affected the internet. Suvi says aliens definitely done something to keep AI. Must have done. I don't know why the aliens are interested in me, but yeah, must have done. Didi says, life eternal, the gift of God for all that accept his love. Awesome, amazing. Thank you guys so much for your comments. Thank you for keeping me company. I hope you guys enjoyed the stories. I'm glad you guys stuck around for the extra story at the end. And yeah, I think we're going to have to end it here. I hope you guys have an amazing evening again. Take care all. Love you all. Peace all. Goodbye all. Till next time. Bye.
Dragons in the skies, fire from the boughs, wisdom flowing fast, ancient temples bow, mountains echo tales, ancestors crying loud, heroes of the past, legends worn proud. On golden silk roads, history unfolds, mystics in the night, secrets they hold, great walls shadow long, warriors in rows, in the courtyard's light, a lotus flower grows. Orchids in the wind, laughter from the light, truth within the sand, cities bathed in might. Tigers leap through time, rivers serpentine, harmony and chaos living by design. Phoenix rise anew, feathers burning blue, forest whisper soft, mind open and true. Scrolls of hidden art, sages they confide, ticking of the jade, time won't divide. Battles lost and won, emperors do reign, people marching on, dreams still remain. Peasant to the king, stories intertwined, every single soul walking a fine line. Orchids in the wind, laughter from the light, truth within the sand, cities bathed in might. Tigers leap through time, rivers serpentine,